So with that, the project I'm working on at Data.gov is called the Open Government Platform. It's an initiative. It's a presidential initiative. It's part of the U.S. National Action Plan. And essentially, what we're doing is working with the Government of India, the Prime Minister's Office, their National Information Center, and a few others, to effectively open source Data.gov. The Indians actually put one of their prime technical teams on this. They came over to America in September, or August rather, and there was a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue about sort of how this was going to look like, what sort of the challenges that we were facing, how would we want to improve the platform. So since then, there's been a lot of, we've had sort of weekly, bi-weekly, multi-weekly meetings with the Government of India, and what that looks like is a bunch of people hacking away on Skype using Google Docs and GitHub to code an open source Data.gov, open government platform, or the form name was Data.gov in a box. So the release of that is coming up. So we don't have an official date yet, but it's going to be soon. We're really excited about that. And that's one of the things that kind of brings us here today. So when we say open source, that means something different than a lot of the way people are saying open source. So there's sort of three paths people are kind of working with right now in the current focus. So the first path is when they say open source, they're throwing code up on a website, walking away. The second path is throwing up code on a website and handing control of that over to another organization, an outside entity. The third sort of way of doing this is to open code, to manage, to build a community around the code, to manage that for your goals. So how can we incorporate community needs, community interests, community development, and actually building out a better open government platform? And that's what we're pushing for. So there's a number of, if you're a Govy, you can appreciate this. If you're not, you can probably appreciate it too, but a number of legal and policy and procurement and all these other issues that we're cutting through right now. But the goal, what we're striving for, is pursuing that third model of truly open source. And I think at the heart of that is a value that everyone on the Data.gov team shares, and that is that open is the price you pay for free. So if you want people to participate in your community, if you really want people to engage in your product and to make it a better product, you have to get them to, you have to be open. So we're exploring what that exactly means. We're wrestling with a lot of issues, but the goal again is going to be as open as possible, to incorporate as much feedback as possible, and to build the best data platform that we can. And we're going to need your help. So that brings us here today. We wanted to have a meeting before we launched OGPL formally, so that we can sort of kick off a developer community, right? So over the course of the next year, we'll say, we're going to hopefully do more of these events. We're going to be engaging you more. We're going to be out about. It's going to be formal. It's going to be informal. And basically, if you're willing to come along with us, we'd like to have you. So I'm really excited to be a part of this. I think it's going to be a very interesting, to use the dreaded word, experiment. But I think that's what it is, and I think that's what we're trying to do. So that's what I got.